Hi guys, how are things? Welcome to today's Pilates class, which we will kick off in about a minute or two. Just give people a chance to hop on and join the class. So, again, just following on from yesterday, we'll follow a similar route. So we will start off the class by doing a little bit of activation work and just that practice on activation of pelvic floors. And we'll do a little bit of work on our TVAs, engaging them through that process as well. We'll talk a little bit about that at the start. Again, as I said before, if you're used to Pilates and you're used to using a different technique to what I use, feel free to use that different technique. Just work with whatever suits you. Again, just some people will find this quite helpful. After that, then we'll just do as we did yesterday. We'll start into a light warm-up and we'll flow then into the main body of the class. And again, just be conscious all the way through, guys, of not forcing any exercise, taking your time. And we're going to really use that breath today. So we're going to start off actually on the ground in a lying position. We're just going to bring focus of attention to our breath, controlling that breath, and then just, I suppose, visualizing how we're going to use that throughout the workout to dictate the speed of our movements. And we'll talk a little bit through that in a second. Okay, so we're just past 1:15 there, guys. So what I'll get you to do is, when you're ready, just nice and comfortably, just get yourself onto the ground. Again, as I said yesterday, if you have a mat, feel free to use it. But if you're just working on a nice, comfortable surface, just make sure what you're working on is comfortable. So if you're on a hard floor, just make sure you might put down a towel or something similar. If you're on a carpet, again, you might be able to do your workout on the carpet. Okay, so clearing that bit of space, guys, just bring yourself down into a lying position. Okay, so head back on the mat, feet flat on the floor. Knees bent. From there, we're going to bring our palms down to our side into our corrective rest position. We're just going to bring focus of attention to our breath. Every time we take an inhale, inhaling relaxed through the nose. And when we exhale, exhaling out through the mouth or nose. If we're exhaling out through the mouth, just make sure that the jaw remains nice and relaxed. 3 to 4 seconds inhale and 3 to 4 seconds exhale. Just nice relaxed breathing, control the speed of the breath. And as we move through the class, we're going to use that breath to control the speed of our movements. So we're synchronizing the breath around the movements for the whole class. Feeling that tummy rise as we take an inhale and dropping through the exhale. Good, guys. Okay, from there, we're just going to bring ourselves up into a standing position. So interlock the fingers around the right leg, straighten the left leg. From there, just roll up into a seated position. From there, bring ourselves up to our feet, nice and steady. Okay, so at the back of our mat, we're going to work and start off with our corrective stance position as we did yesterday. So feet about hip width apart again. Rooting the feet down into the ground, let the arches draw gently off the mat. Soften the knees, lift the head up to the ceiling. Just roll those shoulder blades back and down. Drop them into the back pockets. Palms opened up, fingers together. From there, with the right hand, placing that right thumb in on our sternum. So lowest part of our sternum, on our breastbone, and our left thumb in on our pubic bone. So both palms opened up, facing the floor. Again, you'll see changing positions from front to side. You can stay steady. You get a visual from both the front and from the side. Just make sure now from there that we make sure our top hand is directly above our bottom hand. So we may have to change our position to our hips or drop our rib cage up or down. So just make sure that our top hand is directly above our bottom hand. And when we're satisfied that we're in a nice, strong, neutral position, there we'll place right index finger onto that tailbone, onto that pubic bone. So right index finger onto pubic bone, left index finger onto tailbone, as we did yesterday. Thinking about that gentle internal squeeze, like we're stopping ourselves from going to the toilet. As we take an inhale, and then through the exhale, we gently squeeze and draw those 2 points of contact together. So imagining that space closed between the 2 fingertips. Take a deep breath in, hold the connection through the inhale, and as we take an exhale in, gently increase or re-establish that connection. Inhale, hold connection strong. And exhale, re-establish or gently increase that connection. Take a deep breath in. And through the next exhale, we imagine ourselves being pulled up towards the ceiling, tightening through the midsection, through each rib. As you finish the exhale, inhale again, hold what connection you have. And as you exhale out again, draw up from the ground, pull yourself up higher towards the ceiling. Good, strong, supported position. And from there, every time we take an inhale, we hold the connection. Every time we take an exhale, we try and gently increase that connection. From there, guys, hold the connection strong. We're going to place our hands again in that cup position. From there, we're going to have our index fingers pointing towards our navel, which is our belly button, holding ourselves, wrapping those thumbs around the hip bone. We still have our pelvic floor connected. From here, we're locking in those TVAs. So TVAs will wrap around the body again, adding to that tightness. So imagine ourselves, think of a corset being wrapped around, supported through our midsection. Again, think about maybe shower doors closing here. So as we take an inhale, we hold the connection on our pelvic floor. As we exhale, we wrap around the body. We'll feel those fingertips gently draw closer together. Again, wrap around from the sides. Think of those shower doors closing across the body. Deep breath in. Hold the connection through the inhale. Through the exhale, close the shower doors. Lift up from the bottom. Pull ourselves tall to the ceiling. Deep breath in. Hold the connection strong. Exhale. Pubic bones, tailbone, lift from the bottom. Wrap around the sides. And from there, guys, hold the hands back down to the sides. Again, inhale, hold the connection. Exhale, gently increase and re-establish the connection. And in that position, we should just feel more supported in the standing position that we've adapted. Excellent. And from there, guys, so think of those concepts as we move through the class. So again, thinking about pulling ourselves up to the ceiling, that pelvic floor, that sling of muscle, pulling ourselves up to the roof, those TVAs wrapping around the body, tightening from the sides. So think of those 2 concepts as we move through the class. From there, guys, just move over on to the right-hand side of your mat. And from there, we're just going to go into a couple of gentle leg swings. So right foot is on the floor. Left foot is on the mat. And from there, we're just going to go into a couple of leg swings. So gently hold the body steady, pelvic floor and TVAs. And from there, we're going to start off with a nice gentle leg swing. Have that toe pointing towards the wall in front of you as you kick through. Nice delicate kick through. And again, we're rooting the foot down into the ground on the left-hand side. We hold the rest of the body nice and steady. Think of your hips like a bucket of water. We're trying to hold all the water in that bucket. So we're not doing any compensating from the hips. We're just swinging the leg while holding everything steady. From there, draw the knee up towards hip height. And from there, we're just going to circle that knee around, holding everything steady. And draw back up to hip height. 2 more rotations. Out to the wall. Rotate around and bring through. Hold the bucket of water steady through the hips. And draw up and hold. Lovely. From there, we're just going to switch over onto the opposite side. Good. So from the opposite side, again, allow the foot to brush across the ground. And again, start with a gentle leg swing. So we don't want to kick too high here. Think about that bucket of water across your hips. We're holding everything nice and steady. Root the foot into the ground on that right-hand side. The higher the kick, the more work we'll have to do to hold the body steady. Pelvic floor is activated here throughout. TVAs are wrapping around, acting as like our stabilizers. And from there, let's draw that knee up to hip height. Point the toe down to the ground. Hold the hips steady. Hold the body steady. Bring the knee out to the wall. Circle around and draw up to the knee once more. If we lose our balance, guys, take your time. Just re-establish the balance. Think about the connection to the pelvic floor and TVAs again. And one more rotation. Lock in pelvic floor. Draw out to the wall. Circle around and draw the knee back up again. Reposition that foot back to the floor. Excellent. And from there, it's going to step back to the back of your mat. Again, you'll see me changing from side view to front view. You can just stay on your mat, just working up the length of your mat. Okay. From there, guys, feet at hip width apart. Pull yourself up to the ceiling again. That pelvic floor connected. From there, hold the connection strong. Let the body hang down towards the feet. From there, taking 3 steps off the floor into our high plank position. Hands positioned below the shoulders. Pull the belly button back towards the spine. Pelvic floor is locked in and activated. From there, if we're strong enough, we can bend our elbows straight to the floor from here. Anybody who needs a little bit of an easier version, drop the knees, bend the elbows, lower to the ground. Point the toes back behind you, take an inhale. And as you exhale, push the hands into the ground. Lift up the chest, keep the hips on the mat. Head staying in neutral, so the head just follows the body. Inhale, drop the chest back to the floor. Turn the toes up into the mat. Exhaling out, sitting back onto the heels. Drop the head and chest down nice and low between the arms. Lift the bum up off the heels once more. Lift the knees up off the mat. And once more, holding in that high plank position. From there, lift the tailbone towards the roof. Push the heels back into the ground. Let the head and chest fall between the arms. And breathe into the pose. From there, square the hips off once more into that high plank position. From there, we're going to step the feet together. And nice and slowly now, with our head in neutral. Think about not changing the height of the hips. We're going to brush the knee just over the ground. Keep the toe pointing back as we bring the leg in and reset back out again. Bring the knee in. Hold everything steady. Point the toe back as you bring the knee in. Exhale, knee in. Inhale, leg back. Two more. Excellent. From there, drop the knees to the floor. Point the toes back behind you. And sit the bum back towards the heels. Drop the head and chest down nice and low. From there, just turning the palms up to face the ceiling, taking the pressure off the wrists. Once more, gently and slowly let the head and chest drop between the arms. Excellent, guys. Okay, so we're going to move then into our quadruped position. So same as yesterday, we're going to have our hands directly below our shoulders. We're going to have our knees directly below our hips. We're going to start off again with our cat-cows, as we did yesterday. Again, a nice stretch, and it just gives us an idea of where our neutral spine position will be, the halfway point between those two end ranges. So think about curving, tucking the chin in towards the belt buckle, looking up into the belly button. Push the hands into the floor, push the toes into the floor. From there, sit the hips back, lift the chest forward, lift the head forward, pull the shoulder blades back together. Once more, push the hands into the floor, push the toes into the floor, lift high through the middle part of the back. Now once more, sitting the hips back, lifting the head forward and chest forward, pull the shoulder blades back together. Now think of our halfway point, guys, between those two positions. And we're going to rest and we're going to wait at halfway. Okay, guys, so I'm going to start off today with an arm extension here. Through the arm extension, I want you to think about the distribution of your weight like we did yesterday. This time, we want to see how we distribute the weight between our legs, our right and left leg. So, locking in that pelvic floor. From there, we're going to take an exhale, reach the hand in front. Inhale, bring the hand back down again. Only lifting the arm forward through the exhale, and only bring it back through the inhale. Bring your focus of attention to your right and left knee. Where does the weight go when you reach the arm forward? Try and keep equal weight through right and left knee. Excellent, guys. From there, we're going to gently bring those knees back behind the hips. Bring the hands in line with the head. From there, we're going to roll off the bony part of our knees, bringing our hips forward, lifting our feet off the ground. Weight now is distributed between the hands and the tops of the knees, so we shouldn't feel that bony part of the knee on the ground, just the tops of the quads. From there, as far as you are comfortable, you're going to inhale, bend the elbows, lower yourself down, exhale, push yourself back. So crocodile push-up, let's work to halfway. Anybody who is comfortable can go into a full push-up on these. If holding that position is tough enough, I want you to just hold that position with arms fully straight or maybe with a slight bend. As we lower ourselves to the ground, you'll see on my visual that my elbows are tucked in tight to my body. So I'm trying to keep my elbows inside the width of the mat as I go down. As I travel down to the floor, my hips and chest move at the same rate and both come back connected. So we want to keep that connection strong through the pelvic floor. As we move up and down, body moves up in one piece and down in one piece. We're letting the chest fall between the hands and the head goes out over the tops of the hands. If we need a rest at any time, guys, take your rest by just taking all of the weight off the arms, sitting back onto the heels. Inhale, lower down. Exhale as we push back. We got one or two more. From there, guys, feet back to the ground, sitting back up onto the heels, taking all the pressure off the arms. Again, use this opportunity in corrective rest to sit tall. Think about the pelvic floor connection. It's pulling you higher, it's pulling you taller. And think about the control of your breath. From there, guys, I want to move into a seated position where we'll then transfer into our lying position, our supine position. Okay. So just move into that seated position. Hands on the floor. We'll bring our right knee up in between our right and left hand. We'll sit down onto our right hip, and then we'll swing the feet around into our crossed leg position. We'll then straighten the legs. Grab onto the right shin, and then we lower ourselves back on the mat. Okay, so to start off with, guys, we're going to have feet and knees together. We'll actually start with feet and knees or hip width apart. We are just going to work again, guys, similar to what we did on all fours. We'll get ourselves into our 50-50 position. but we'll explore the range that we have. So here now, what I want you to think is your tailbone or your hips and your shoulder blades. I want you to keep those in contact with the ground at all times. So all I want you to do is think about the lower part of your back, your lumbar spine. I want you to lift your lumbar spine as high off the mat as you can, creating a nice arch in the back. And from there, I want you to press your lower back into the floor. So we keep our shoulders down, we keep our hips and tailbone down. All we're doing is opening and closing the space between the mat and our lower back. So the lower part of your back is lifting on and off the mat here in this instance. So a slight rotation through the hips to lift that lumbar spine up and down. And again, you're noticing the range that you have between the 2 points. And now what I want you to do is position yourself where you believe to be halfway between those 2 points. From there, shoulder blades back into the ground. Now we're going to bring our feet and knees together. So glue the feet, glue the knees together. We're just going to drop the knees out from right to left. And again, before we go, I want you to think pelvic floor switched on, activated. So we call that the powerhouse. So our TVAs are pelvic floor. If you hear me referring to the powerhouse, we want to have that activated as much as possible. So powerhouse activated. From there, I want you to drop your left knee away to the left-hand side, but I want you to focus on what your right knee is doing. I want you to drop the left knee out, but focus on keeping the right leg as steady as possible. When you start to feel you've got no more range left, exhale, bring the leg back in. So inhale, drop the leg out. Exhale, bring it in. And again, just a couple of reps here, guys. And all we're doing is focusing on the part of our body that is not moving here. We're going to use this through the next exercise. If we can keep the opposite side steady, chances are we've got a good, strong connection. We're focused on keeping ourselves still. So we're focused on that connection, which is going to help us keep still. And we're just dropping, in this instance, knees away from right to left. Again, just opening the hips up a little bit more as well. From this exercise, we'll transition nicely into a butterfly position. So let's bring our heels close to our bum. Let's glue the bottoms of our feet together. Hands resting on the ground, and from here it's a gentle hip opener. I want you to push the feet together, lifting the hips up nice and high. I'm going to hold that position. And as we hold the hips high, I want you to imagine your knees opening wider, getting closer to the ground. Keep lifting the hips high. Keep allowing the knees to drop wide. And we'll feel that open up the hips. Keep controlling your breath. Keep that pelvic floor activated. So through each exhale, knees get wider, hips stay high. From there, let's return the hips back down to the floor. And from there, let's bring the knees together. From there, guys, think about your nice neutral position through your spine again. So we have to do one more up and down from our lumbar spine. Let's find a nice neutral 50-50 position through our spine. When we've established the 50-50 position, let's lock in our powerhouse. And let's notice what points of contact that we have with the ground at this instance. So in this, which is what we believe to be our 50-50 neutral position, notice the point of contact with the ground. From there, only holding those contact points with the ground, let's bring the right knee up to tabletop. So right leg up to tabletop, left leg up to tabletop. And as we go through this move, it'll be a simple form of the move to begin with, but what I want you to focus on is the part of your body that are not moving and the contact points with the ground. So we want to feel the same contact points at all times. As we exhale, lengthen one leg out. Inhale, bring that leg back in. So our focus is on not moving any other part of the body. and also not lifting that lower back up or down. So our 50-50 position through our spine should remain constant at all times. What we should not feel is that lower back pushing into the ground, lifting off the ground. Again, if our connection is strong, we should be able to maintain a strong neutral position while we extend the leg long. Exhale, lengthen the leg long. Inhale, bring the leg back. Only one leg moves at a time. And again, real focus on holding the parts of the body that are supposed to be still as possible. Let that powerhouse hold you in that 50-50 position. Good. And from there, guys, just relax the feet back to the floor. Hold that connection strong. To the next exercise, we're going to add in a shoulder lift. So on this shoulder lift, again, we initiate the movement from low on our sternum each time. So this time, as we extend one leg long, we lift our shoulders up. As we bring the leg back in, we lower ourselves down. Okay? And we can use our hands here as a guide. So what the move should look like is, as we extend right leg, we lift up from low on our t-shirt. We reach our highest point at full extension. And then we lower ourselves back down. So one leg moves, both hands move. Shoulders lift up. And then we return back down. When you're ready, guys, with pelvic floor switched on, bring yourself into that tabletop position with our hands above our shoulders. If this move proves too difficult, just resort back or revert back to the move previous, which is just the leg movement. When we're ready, exhaling, lengthen the leg long, lift up high. Let's see a lot of that ground below us. Inhale, reset down. Opposite leg, lift high, extend long. Inhale, reset back down. Now, I want everybody to move at their own speed here. So we'll all breathe at slightly different speed and tempos. So you move with your own breath here. Only lifting up as you exhale. Only dropping down through the inhale. And if you need an extra rest, just take an extra breath in this reset recovery position. If we're comfortable enough to keep going with the move, let's keep moving from right side to left side. Keep holding that pelvic floor switched on. Pull the belly button down towards the mat. Focus on the parts not moving. So one leg will stay completely steady. Focus on keeping that leg completely steady. Good. From there, guys, relax the arms down. Drop right foot down. Drop left foot down. And reset again with knees bent to 90 degrees. Feet and knees and hips all hip width apart. From there, take a deep breath in. As you exhale out, push the feet into the ground. Bring yourselves up onto our shoulder blades. Switched on to the pelvic floor again and relax the breath. We'll just hold this position high. Keep pushing the feet down into the ground. Again, stay strong through the midsection. Pelvic floor strong and activated. TVA is wrapping around the body to add extra support. From there, relaxing the hips back down to the ground. And again, using this opportunity to reestablish the connection again through pelvic floor TVAs. Switching on that powerhouse. Bring focus back to your breathing. And once more, notice contact point at the ground. From there, guys, what I want on the next set of exercises is we're going to move to the same set of exercises, but this time with the legs straight in our leg lower position. So instead of adopting that tabletop position, we're going to try and work with the legs straight. Now, what I want you to think about is, as you straighten the legs, does it change that neutral position through your spine? If it does, we may need to fall back to our dead bug position. Might just mean that our hamstrings are a little bit tight, and in order to get them straight enough that we're having to arch or change our spinal position. So if we can straighten our legs while holding same contact points to the ground, let's go to our leg lower position. If it is changing our body position to do that, let's just go with our dead bug again, keeping knees bent at 90 degrees. Same series of exercises, guys, in this one. First set, hands down. Second set, we move the shoulders up and down with the leg movement. When we're ready, pointing toes to the sky, if we can get to that position while holding neutral. From there, dropping one leg down, bringing it back, dropping the opposite leg down, bringing it back. Now again, tough exercise, guys, so it might just mean that if I let this run for 40 seconds, we might do 10 seconds, we might take a rest. Pelvic floor strong and activated. Hands relaxed down onto the ground. Shoulder blades pinch back into the floor. Lengthen the legs. Point the toes to the ceiling. Exhale, drop the leg down. Inhale, bring the leg back up. So only moving one leg at a time. Focus on keeping the opposite leg as steady as you can. Keep pulling that belly button down towards the spine. Hold the connection strong through the pelvic floor. Slower movements, the more we're going to feel that work. 10 seconds to go. Good, and relax the legs. Grabbing both knees, hugging the knees in. Get a couple of gentle rocks forward and back. Good. Okay, guys, so moving on to our last set of those. This time, similar to our first move. Now, again, quite an advanced move here. So on this one, you might choose to go in knees at 90 degrees. Legs will be in leg lower position. Hands will be up above shoulders. We're going to lift the shoulders as we lengthen the leg, and we reset back down. Okay? Right, again, tough exercise. See how you get on. Try it. But if you want to go back to that dead bug one, lifting shoulders up and down, again, a very tough move too. So just pick whichever one suits you. Okay. Reset, knees to 90 or legs to straight. From there, hands above the shoulders. Ready to go. Exhaling, lifting shoulders, lengthening leg, and reset back down. Again, we can take an extra bit of breath here in recovery if we need to. Good. And again, resting whenever you need to, guys. With the 15 seconds to go. Again, quite a challenging exercise. So we'll work at our own levels here, all at different levels. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Couple of breaths, knees hugged into the chest. Feet relaxed back to the floor, guys. We're going to go back to another round of a glute bridge. Relax the hands to the floor, shoulder blades back into the ground. From there, once more, push the feet into the ground. Lift the hips high, holding the hips high. Again, connected strong through the powerhouse and pelvic floor. We're going to hold those hips high. Let's get a quick check on time. And you are just holding those hips nice and high. So keep pushing those feet into the floor. Hips remaining high. When we're ready, guys, just lower those hips back to the floor once more. And we're going to finish off, guys, side position. We're going to do a series of side planks on both sides, and that will finish off before we roll up into our stretch to cool down. Okay, so again, whatever we're working on, guys, make sure your elbow and forearm is nice and comfortable. We're sideways on our mat here. If we want extra cushion, we can always roll up our mat to give us an extra bit of cushion underneath the elbow and forearm. Again, for balance, I want you to place your palm flat down on the floor. That way we create a nice base of support between our fingertip and our elbow, okay? So use that for balance. Now, on this one, we're going to move into a side bridge. We're going to go into a half side bridge. If anybody wants to do the full one, they are free to do the full one. We're going to add in a leg abduction as well, okay? Just to attack the outside of that right hip too, to get that working too. So we can do that from forearm to feet, or we can do that from knee to forearm. This version will be bridge up, straighten the top leg, lift the top leg up, point the toe away. That's going to be our half bridge with abduction through the leg. Second version, if we want the more challenging one, longer bridge, so more challenging through that side bridge, and we go with that same leg abduction. Okay, so we're going to go for 2 rounds of 20 seconds on right side and left side, and then we're going to roll up into our stretch and cool down. We're just under 40 minutes there now, guys. Okay, so 20 seconds each side. From here, go into your half bridge, which is just bending the knees to 90 degrees. When you look down your body in the half bridge, if we straighten our top leg, knees are still stacked, leg is lengthened long, the other leg has gone out the back, and we're up to our forearm here. If it's the proper full bridge, everything is stacked all the way through on top of each other. Okay, ready to go, guys, for 20 seconds. Ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Lifting those hips high to the ceiling now. Push the hips forward. Keep one arm reached high, and let's lift that leg. If we can only hold that leg high now for about 10 seconds of the 20, that's perfectly fine. I want you to hold that leg as high as you can for as long as you can. So if you do take a rest at any point, I want you to you can bring that leg back up again at any time if you've got a bit of energy back. That's 10 seconds gone. We got 10 to go. Relax the breath, relax the neck, lift the hips high. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, leg down, hips down. From there, we're going to switch to the opposite side so you can turn around and face away. I'm just going to change my position so I'm facing the camera at all times. Okay, opposite side, 20 seconds. Ready, 3, 2, 1. Lift that bottom hip high. Reach the arm to the roof. Lift the top leg high. 20 seconds, clock is on. We're in a nice star position, guys. Hold space between the bottom hip and the mat. Hold space between the top leg and the bottom leg. Push those hips forward to the wall you're facing. 12 seconds. Probably a long 8 seconds there, but we'll work it. 5, 4, 3, 2, Top leg down, bottom hip down. We swap back over to the opposite side. 2 to go. 20 seconds again, guys. Ready to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the hips high. Reach the hand to the ceiling. And from there, lifting the top leg high. Feel it work the outside of that top hip. Keep space between the mat and the bottom hip. Space out the legs. Keep yourself tall. Push the hips forward to the wall you're facing. 10 seconds to go. Relax the breath as much as you can. 3, 2, top leg down, bottom hip down, and we swap over to the last side. Brilliant, guys. So this one will finish off the work, and then we'll stretch from there. Okay, ready to go. 3, 2, 1. Top hip up to the ceiling. Reach the hand high. Push the hips forward. Lift the leg up. Clock is on. And relax the breath again as much as you can. Keep space between the bottom side of the body and the mat. Keep space between the legs. Push the hips forward. Stay inside the width of the mat here. 10 to go. Hold the leg high. Hold the hips high. 4, 3, 2, leg down, hip down. And from there, guys, we'll just transfer into prone position, chest down on the ground. Feet together. Push the hands into the ground. Keep the hips down. Lift the chest up. From there, chest back to mat. Slowly transfer bum back onto heels. Head and chest down nice and low. From there, lift the hips up. Lift the knees off the mat. High plank position once more. Good strong connection once more through that pelvic floor. And relax the breath. From there, sit the hips high to the air. Push the heels back into the ground. Push the hands into the floor. Drop the head and chest low. High plank position once more. Walking the hands back into the feet. Let the body hang down towards the feet. From there, gently peel ourselves up into a standing position. Roll the shoulder blades back. Palms open up to face forward. Pelvic floor pulled in tight. Pull yourself up to the ceiling. Neck elongated. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhaling out. And that's all for today again, guys. Thanks very much for joining us. Hope you have a great day. Take care. And we'll see you again really soon. Thank you very much.